Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full. I'm in it to win it, I'm all in. I might call you my cuz, young blood, but we ain't kin. You think of jumping, man, you best think again. The dirty, I'm the type of man that might go broke for revenge. Had some not so nice friends, kick the door off the hinge, take the door off your bins, pop up my phone with your friends, man, please. This shit ain't cynical, man, no subliminal. I'm physical, financial, and mental to be a general. Hey, the mama claims she want a soldier, not the type be in the tank, but in that Rover. Man, please, I'm in the zone like AIDS full blown. I'm killing it like a blind man reading. I'm feeling it like, oh yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that.
Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Caesar's Palace Top Rank Incorporated, along with your king of beers, Budweiser, present a special 4-round bout. This is for the International Boxing Association's 4-round Super Heavyweight Championship of the World. The 3 judges scoring this contest are Dick Houck, Art Laurie, and Paul Smith. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Joe Cortez. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white and weighing 255 pounds. From Parsons, Tennessee, he brings a record of 4-1 with 1 KO to his credit. He is the challenger, ladies and gentlemen, Ed Newjack White.
Yeah, boy.
And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the stars and bars, red, white, and blue, and weighing in at 320 pounds. His professional record, 27-1, 22 KOs from Jasper, Alabama. Here is the IBA 4-round Super Heavyweight Champion, an American legend, BUTTERBEAN.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all time. Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
Well, Larry, a benedictory comment on the Bean?
Well, Jim, did we just go from the ridiculous to the sublime, or the sublime to the ridiculous?
We went from the ridiculous to the ridiculous.
Oh, boy.
Gotcha.
Roy, what do you think of the Bean?
You know, I have to admire the Bean for his courage to get up and do what he does. I think boxing's gave him a new life. And, you know, you have to look at the positives on what guys do. You know, Bean has a lot of people that follow him. He brings great entertainment to the sport, and I admire him for what he does.
Ed White starts out sticking the jab and trying to land a right hand behind it. Big Ed is a substance abuse counselor for kids at his own high school in Parsons, Tennessee, and in the early going, he's getting the better of the Butterbean. Remember, if you're a big man like Ed and you can work effectively behind the jab, you've got a chance. That's what Mitchell Rose did against Bean in Madison Square Garden. Rose was 1-6-1 on his own professional record when he came in and thoroughly dominated Butterbean. That was a big upset.
Yeah, they looked all over New York for somebody Butterbean could beat, and they couldn't find anyone.
Butterbean takes a punch pretty well, as he's showing you here. Grinning through the assault of Ed White, but Butterbean's not scoring much yet.
Yep, Butterbean is trying to let Ed White punch himself out. Then Butterbean will look to land a big punch and knock him out.
Yep, and Ed's already holding his hands well down below his waist, and that'll be dangerous.
And he's breathing very hard.
And he's separating his hands widely when he throws, and sooner or later he's going to get tagged. Body shot, left hand upstairs for Butterbean. Ed White slowing down dramatically now after a high-paced or fast-paced first minute. Another body shot by Butterbean, and Big Ed starting to breathe pretty heavy. Oh, great right hand by Ed White.
Excellent right hand. That hurt the Bean.
Yep, he's wobbling.
But he'll fight. And I have to give him credit, he will fight.
Butterbean with a possible big money date coming up against hockey player Marty McSorley. And all I can say about that is, Marty, think twice. Another big right hand for White.
All right.
Butterbean appears
break out.
content to work to the body and try to wear Ed down a little bit here.
So you have to lean toward Butterbean because he has the experience.
You have to lean toward Butterbean because he tilts the earth in his direction. He got no choice.
Ed does have a pretty good right hand, though, Jim. I have to give him that credit.
Not a knockdown. And quickly, let's go to Pernell Whitaker's locker room, where referee Mills Lane is offering pre-fight instructions.
Okay, Pernell, this is for the championship, and I know it's an important fight for you. I understand lose the chief second. If there's any problem in the ring, I'm going to talk to him, nobody else, okay? The paper talk's all over. It's a WBC title, no 3 knockdown rule, go as long as I say it can. If you knock his mouthpiece out, if you lose yours, keep fighting. When the action slows, I'll get time, get it washed out, and get it back, please. If you get in close, as long as you need one man, you got 2 hands free, fight it out. If I ask you to stop punching, please just take 1 short step back, okay? If you score knockdown, go to the furthest neutral corner and stay there, I'll wave you back. It's a puncher's ring. It's a big ring, but it's a puncher's ring, nice and soft, okay? If it goes the distance, will you touch gloves in the last round? Very good. I'll make sure I get squared away with the other guy, okay?
You don't have to.
Now, I understand, but I mean, when they both of you agree to, okay? Protect yourself at all times, all right? No standing 8 count, but if you get hung up in the ropes or you go down, you must take 8, okay? If the cut man's in, Lou, you'll have to be out, okay? And the paper talk is all over, and this is where we're going to get it on, right? And none of the clowning and spinning and all that kind of stuff, okay? Fair enough, brother. All right, I want to promise, all right? Good luck to you.
Mills Lane, criminal court judge from Reno, Nevada. Oh. Butterbean took a hard right hand from Ed White, just keeps coming with his own left hand. Oh! Haymaker right hand by Butterbean, and Ed White paying the price for dropping his hands so low. Cortez finally picks up the count.
Hey, how you feel? You all right to continue?
Feels great. Still doesn't have his hands up. Butterbean too many chances. That'll do it.
That's it.
Crowd goes nuts. Blood streams down Butterbean's face from the cut under his left eye, but Ed White is gone.
Curses foiled again.
And Ed White's trainer, who is a fellow named Bill Johnson, will no doubt say to him at some point, you know, you got to keep your hands up. Let's take another look at this, Roy.
Ed White had never made more than $400 in a fight before this one. They found him in Parsons, Tennessee.
Here's the first knockdown.
Obviously doesn't have the condition to go at the pace he was starting the fight at, although he was a college basketball player.
Watch this haymaker right hand.
Harvey Lipscomb for 4 years.
David Lipscomb in Nashville, Tennessee. Yep. Woof. What a haymaker. Aren't too many times in a so-called professional prize fight, Roy, that you'll get to see a guy bring a right cross up from the canvas. And this was the finish.
Eric, that was sensational.
Did you hear Bob Arum in the background telling Butterbean that it was a sensational performance?
Yeah,
Arum loves this.
And White is one of the better opponents they've had him in with.
Not unmarked, but nevertheless victorious. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Joe Cortez calls a halt to the bout at 1 minute, 14 seconds of round number 2. The winner by TKO victory and still the IBA 4-round super heavyweight champion, Butterbean.
In the last decade, Bermondsey's David Haye has flown up the world boxing ranks. He's gone from promising amateur to slick professional. He now faces his biggest challenge, a heavyweight world title fight against Russian Nikolai Valuev, better known as David versus Goliath.
So let's put this fight into height context. I'm around 5'2", probably 5'5", wearing my heels. This is David Haye. He is 6'3". This guy, Nikolai Valuev, is 7'2". That's huge. I can't even reach the top of his head.
He's really, really big. He's really strong. He's never been knocked down, never been knocked out in 51 fights. And I'm expecting a real hard night's work, a real tough fight. But you know, I feel I've got what it takes to find a strategy to beat this big guy.
He's not just a great big lump. He is the biggest heavyweight champion in history, but classically the giants fall.
He is a huge man. He's got arms like tree trunks. His legs are like forests. There's no way I would even share a room with the guy.
He's ugly as hell. He's probably one of the ugliest human beings. He is the ugliest human being I've ever seen in the flesh. You see these horror movies and you think, oh, no one can look like that. No, this guy truly does.
You'd never guess David likes to wind up his opponents, and today was an opportunity to do just that, with the aid of an actor and a Halloween mask. But away from the bravado and theatre, the fight takes place in Germany on the 7th of November. Can the man they call the Haymaker go all the way?
Will he be the next British heavyweight champion of the world?
Absolutely, yes.
Sarah Orchard, BBC London News.
Let's get this party started. Coming to the ring at this time, the challenger from Great Britain, David Haymaker Haye.
Giving away 7 stones in weight and 9 inches in height and 7 inches in reach. In boxing's long history, nobody has ever given away that much weight in a heavyweight championship fight and won.
He really is looking good. He's looking focused. He's patting people's hands as he passes. His eyes are staring straight ahead the same way he did at the weigh-in yesterday when he stared down Valuev. He is really looking forward to this. He really believes in himself. I think he sees this as the biggest and the most special night of his life.
Making his entrance to the ring, the defending WBA Heavyweight World Champion, Nico.
Valuev is on his way at last. I told you they do things a bit differently in Germany. The crowd actually like this kind of thing. Very unconventional.
I think the expectation here is tremendous. We really expect a great fight. Every time David Haye goes into the ring, it's exciting. I'm sure tonight will be no different.
Here he is, the biggest heavyweight champion in history. 7 feet tall, Nikolai Valuev. There's been so much talk here, but it has to stop now. This is where Haye has to back up the words with action. He's got personal with Valuev, and now he has to get up close.
Okay, guys, I give you introduction in the dressing room. They're having a clean match. Good luck, God bless you.
Valuev has never been off his feet in 52 contests. David Haye, with a reputation as a power puncher, will we see the hit-and-run speed style that most people think he needs in this fight?
I hope we do see that, Ian, but I hope at the first chance he gets, he tests Valuev's chin, because I would say David is the biggest puncher Valuev has faced.
And what happens the first time Valuev lands against a fighter who's been on the floor a few times? Hey, just look at the difference here. Valuev, immense. This is the difference in size between a heavyweight and a flyweight. But of course, anyone over 14 stone 4 in boxing is automatically a heavyweight, which is why these two are in the same ring.
And Valuev has landed and perfected the method of getting up close without taking punches. He's got David on his back foot, which will take some of the power away. Obviously, David is going to have to punch upwards, which will also take away a little bit of his power. So it's going to have to be in-out raiding tactics, but he's been pushed as we expected, straight onto the back foot. You can imagine what it's like giving away 7 stone, but you don't know until you're in there doing it. And David Haye is just finding out what it's like right now.
Good body shot there from Haye. That brought a roar of applause from the British fans. He does have 13 wins inside 2 rounds. Haye, he definitely can hit, and I suspect he can hit even up at heavyweight. But this is only his 3rd fight at the weight. Did anyone get a title shot that quick other than Pete Rademacher, who fought Floyd Patterson in his first fight in 56? It's real cat and mouse stuff. But so far so good in a way for David Haye, because he really can't afford to just stand there mixing it. He'll reckon, I think, at some point he'll leap in with one of those hooks, and he's hoping he'll get Valuev going for the first time in the Russian's career.
Well, he just come up with a cheeky little left hook there. He's not looking for power, which I'm pleased about. He's mobile. He's not taking anything. This is just so difficult for Haye. Just come up for the cruiser. Oh, beautiful right hand!
Oh, terrific shot there. Valuev shakes his head. The giant just demurred for a moment there.
Well, that was the Valuev coming back with the jab there. Well, the better punches have come from Haye in this round. Still obviously looking a little bit negative, but that's what we want to see from him.
This may be the only way to do it with a 7-stone differential. Here's round 3. Valuev, who's been a pro now for 16 years. Don King, who's at ringside, the American promoter, has a slice of him, leading one of our writers, Ron Lewis of the Times, to come up with the famous line that King had found his Kong.
Well, I think Valawev's going to have to stop throwing single punches if he wants to catch Hay. I mean, against tricky opponents of any description, single punches are the last thing you need. So I wonder if his corner are telling him to put punches together, put them out in threes, and one may land. But single shots, Hay can see them coming. There's the right hand again, left uppercut.
Just mixing in the odd power shot to take the eye of the judges. Valaweb does look frustrated. At a press conference this week, Hay said he would make Valaweb look silly and embarrass him, and then later in the fight knock him out.
But I keep feeling this is a job that's going to get bigger and tougher as it goes along for David Hay. His tactics are bang on, but I mean, he's under constant pressure. He's been forced to move all the while. He can't expect to be dictating things here. But he's quick and he's boxing so well on the back foot.
He's having to produce something he's never produced before.
So Valawev struggling to find the target here. He's missing. He's becoming frustrated and he's still throwing single punches. So that's good news for Hay. I think he's landed more punches so far in this round. Valawev just can't time him. A good right hand again. Glancing blow, but a good punch nevertheless.
I think Valawev may feel that his time will come. That's where Hay doesn't want to be. Trapped in the corner by the ropes, and he got out of it very well. Almost like an electric eel.
Well, he's making Valawev leap in with the punches, so at 22 stone, that could take a little bit of the steam out of him. Signs that Valawev really is becoming frustrated.
But the word is on Valawev. People who watch him regularly say that he comes on strong in the second half of the contest, and that may be when Hay does start to tire a little. This is really just the opening couple of chapters in the novel.
Right hand from Valawev there. Not a full power shot, but it landed.
There he is, winging away, fast hands with the left hand. Didn't really seem to catch Valawev that clean with that one.
But there's always the question, is what Hay is doing, is it impressing the judges? I wouldn't think so.
Well, they're not noted for being generous to visiting fighters over here, it has to be said. But that might be true of a few countries as well. And sometimes Britain too, if we're honest with you.
Jab to the body from Valawev.
Two punches, three punches to the head from Hay. He has to produce these bursts, I think, to get the nod from the judges at ringside.
I think he has to do more work that's going to impress the judges. And that's what's missing. I mean, the tactics are good. The evasive boxing is excellent. But is he coming back with enough?
Again, way out of range. Valawev, even with a huge reach advantage.
Valawev feinting now, upping the pace here. But that's what Valawev has to do. He has to put punches together. He's not imposing himself on David Hay. He's not managing to do that. But I don't know what his corner are telling him. But really, he should be letting punches go and stepping right up close, taking more chances than he's taking.
Spoiling up.
Well, I have Valawev 1 point up at the moment, so he is well in it. He's got his defences up there, but we need to see more of that from David Hay. He has to let more punches go in and get on out of there.
I had Hay at point up going into this round, so just goes to show it open to a different interpretation. Valorem again trying to trap him in the corner. Hay is out of there. Hay's been doing nighttime training for this fight. Even got up and walked at 2 a.m. this morning for an hour, because that's what he was feeling like, that's what his body was telling him. But what he doesn't do is those long endurance runs that most boxers like you did, Jim.
Yeah, well, everyone has their own methods. He became the best cruiserweight champion in the world with those methods, so they work good left hook. This is what's required, just a little bit more work to catch the judge's eyes.
He's got him with a body shot there. The more Valiev can mix it at close quarters with Hay, the more he can make a huge difference in weight tell.
Well, they're blocking the right hand here from Hay. He must be frustrated, but again, he's keeping his boxing together because this is what he does. Another round where he has to work the whole 3 minutes under pressure.
Just moving a little quicker. They've tried to train him for a bit more speed. Valiev, he's just doing that bit more than Hay at the moment, I fancy. One thing that has happened here is that David Hay is surviving okay and he's not getting blown away. Evander Holyfield said after he fought Valiev, he didn't really hit very hard at all for a man of his size. He might be the biggest heavyweight, but he's certainly not the hardest hitting.
Well, Valiev shaking his shoulders out there, that's signs that maybe the first signs of tiredness. Partly blocked that left hook from Valiev. Well, Hay still looking very strong and the legs still very quick.
There he is trying to go for that left hook. Good counter there with the right hand from Valiev. Came back with one of his own there, showed a bit of speed, really, for such a man mountain.
Yeah, and probably the better punch of the two.
I just think Hay has to do more. He's going to have to do more than this to win the title here.
Well, Evander Holyfield failed because he didn't throw enough punches. His movement was good, his tactics were good. So Hay needs to impress the judges a little bit more. That was better.
Just one sharp jab though. Single shots in the main. Hay may need fast combinations then away again.
But Valiev breathing a little bit heavy, which is the first bit of good news.
He's missed so much, Valiev, here though. How many jabs has he thrown that have not found their target? I mean, he's plodding forward. I don't think you should give points for just walking forward. You've got to land, Jim. You've got to land.
Yeah, but I mean, do you win a round with 2 punches?
Well, I think Hay's winning. I think Hay's winning this round.
Yes, he's much more accurate in this round. This is, thankfully, the best round I've seen from David.
Missed by miles, Valiev. Telegraphed the shot. Hay slipped it easy, came back with something. He's winning this round. If he keeps on doing this, it'll be better. Look how much Valiev missed by then. Then a body punch from Hay, who's gaining in confidence there. Wounds one up, goes back to his corner, puts the round in the bank. That was better. 8 rounds gone, and I wonder if the best 4 rounds might be the last 4 rounds here.
Well, I've got it close, but I mean, I can see there's a possibility the judges will not like David's tactics. I don't know.
Okay, nobody throw.
Right hand and away again from Hay. Super quick. Stamina's okay so far. No sign of him tiring badly.
Good right hand again from Hay.
Super punches. That was a combination. And once again, he was nowhere to be seen once the punches had landed. Valuev tried to find him with a counter. He'd gone.
Well, at the moment, he has landed 3 decent punches, maybe 4. Valuev has not landed a punch this round. There goes David. Good right hand again. This is exactly what we need to make it obvious he is landing more punches than Valuev.
Hay almost like an annoying wasp, circling a man in a deck chair and getting the odd sting in and getting away again, but he has to keep on stinging. There's a right hand from Valuev there. He almost caught Hay in the corner. Good body shot from Hay. He's making him look dreadfully one-dimensional, isn't he, Valuev here?
Well, he looks that at the best of times, but he's also frustrated tonight. Normally he can get to opponents, he just can't seem to do that tonight with Hay. Just a few more punches is what's needed from Hay. Right hand from Valuev. Right hand from Hay, but it was blocked by Valuev. Valuev looking a bit more purposeful in this round. He's staying on Hay now, not allowing him to break off and have little breathers. He's staying on him here, and that's what he should be doing, imposing himself, not allowing Hay to dictate the pace.
Left hook from Hay there right at the end of the round, but I think it was Valuev's round. That's good from Hay. Little smile from him as he landed, but there needs to be more. What worries me a bit is that Hay thinks he's putting these rounds away, and he probably thinks he's winning the fight by a mile.
Left hook from Valuev.
Took one, gave one.
Good jab too from Valuev.
He's very rarely been able to get his jab to work in this contest, though, simply because Hay hasn't been in front of him. Well,
good shot there.
The plan was based on the fact, I think, that Valuev had never been even hurt in his 16-year pro career. There was no point trying to knock him out. The only way was to try to beat him on points with speed tactics. Whether those tactics have been carried out effectively enough, of course, is the big question. Good right hand from Hay there. He's probably winning the last at the moment. Valuev out of range with his jab, and you could have said that 100 times tonight.
Yeah, David making it obvious that Valuev's missing. Valuev trying to drive himself forward. Two good shots from Hay.
Needs more of that. Sometimes he must feel like it's paper darts
And
against
again.
the mouth. Oh, he's got it going with a left hook. What a finish here. Hay gets to Valuev, who definitely did a silly dance there. He nearly took down the giant.
Is David now wishing he had gone for it earlier and tested this man's chin? I just said that half a minute ago. He would regret that he hadn't really tested his chin. Well, he tested it there, and nearly come up trumps.
And another big left hand from Hay, and a right hand too. He's certainly finishing the stronger here. Half a minute left in this round as Hay have to keep on going for it here. Is this enough? He's certainly winning this last round, and he's done this brilliantly in the last round.
He should be giving it everything here. He's away from home. He must know the only sure way of victory here is knockout, and he's shown he's got the power to achieve that.
He's going for it. He had the giant tottering, but not falling. Well, what drama late in the fight. Hay now is conducting the crowd, saying, I've won this, you know. He certainly made Valuev look very silly, and I just wonder whether we're heading for a big controversy here. The fight is over. Hay thinks he's won it, but has he? How have the judges seen it? How have they read all of that? I have Hay a 1-point winner.
I have Valuev 2 points up. We'll see now if David Hay's hit and run tactics have impressed the judges. I'd be surprised if they have.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Juan Manuel Reyes Garcia scores it 114 even. Stefano Carroza scores it 116-112. And Tom Miller scores it 116-112 to the winner by majority decision. From London, England, the new
David Hay is the WBA heavyweight champion of the world. What a moment! Britain's 7th world heavyweight title holder.
I've never been so happy in my life to be proved wrong, Ian. This is tremendous for David Hay and for British boxing.
He did get it right. The judges did appreciate the tactics. It's a magnificent triumph. No fighter in history has given away 7 stones in a fight and triumphed until tonight.
It's worth singing out for that pizza plate. I'm pieces for pizza. If you're hungry, dive in. They're a real lifesaver. I'm in pieces for pizza.
You'll love the real taste of pizza in Walker's Pizza.
If criminal is eating them in front of my face, he's in pieces for pizza. If I don't get Walker's, I'm a hard-boiled head case.
Walker's Pizza. You'll love them to bits.
G'day. Is that the Flying Doctor, over?
Copy you, Bruce.
Billy is real crook, Doc. He's sweating like crazy. Temperature of 104. Well, he looks terrible. What do we do, over?
Give him a cold drink. The coolest thing in the house until I get to you. Otherwise, well, it could be real bad.
What'd the doc say, Bruce? He said it's going to be real bad, Doc.
Castlemaine 4X is Australia's best-selling lager. In fact, Australians wouldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for any other lager.
Best bet for a fuller flavour.
Carling Black Label.
Remember romance, the way we would dance.
Classic from Castella, for the man who thinks that little bit bigger.
Up is good. Augie, from here up is good. Okay? We good, clean fight. Touch him up. Good luck. Touch him up. Good luck.
First thing we want to find out here, does Augie Sanchez belong in the ring? Has to show that real fast.
A bad sign for the Prince already. The referee is a no-nonsense man.
Ortega wants an outstanding welterweight.
Well, whether he belongs in the ring or not, Augie's been here long enough to have signed a 30-year lease. Prince Nassim needled Augie Sanchez at the pre-fight news conference, saying he had a case of nerves. At one point, Sanchez paused while speaking to the assembled press corps, and Naz laughed and said, "What's the matter, Augie? Are you a little nervous?" So he feels as though there's an element of man against boy here. And Sanchez is known to take a little while to relax and calm down in the ring. Let's see if he can get in a big blow, or if he takes a big blow early that helps him to settle down.
One thing about knockout artists, especially when they've got a lot in the first few rounds, it means they don't like going the distance. So you want to, if you're the opposite fighter, you want to tag them along, hit them every now and then, discourage them, let a lot of the air go out of the balloon before you go and mix it up with them.
And of course, Nassim is one of the great knockout artists in the sport, but Sanchez is the one who's never been past the 7th round in his whole career. So when Larry Merchant asked Prince Nassim in a meeting, do you feel an urgency to get in there and get him out in a hurry because he's young, energetic, and a knockout puncher? Naz said, no, quite the opposite. I'll take my time.
Sanchez has already gone into the body with straight right hands over and over. That means he's got a plan ahead. And I like the idea that Sanchez is going to the body early, making Nassim understand that the fight goes long, you're not going to have your legs either.
And as Augie throws his right hand to the body, Naz starts throwing his left to the body. Prince Nassim more or less in a southpaw stance, and here he does have the right foot way in front, but oftentimes Naz will just square up and fight as an ambidextrous fighter. Sanchez much more the conventional stand-up fighter in this matchup. Left hook. A little mechanical with it, but Sanchez unveiling his primary weapon.
Most important thing really here seems to be that Sanchez does see what the Prince is trying to do. He seems to see the punches coming just right there as he missed it, because what the Prince makes him so effective is his ability to punch from awkward angles that opponents don't see.
Prince was able to get him with a straight left hand that time. That's not a good sign. You want that to come later on when he's got his legs kind of slowed up a little bit.
I would just add one thing to what you said, Larry. It's not just that he punches from extreme angles, but he does so with knockout power in either hand.
Right. When a punch comes from an unorthodox angle and it's not seen, it carries even more power.
No question. Right hand lands for Naz. First round was tactical. And as Prince Nassim goes to his corner, the first man to step into the ring to talk to him is Oscar Suarez. Before the fight, Emmanuel Stewart told me Suarez will talk to Naz the first 3 rounds, then he'll go in for the next 3 rounds.
More to the chest, okay, fight.
Never seen that before.
Left hand, I want it more to the left and
he
sharper,
is unorthodox.
Right? Don't be lazy with it. Okay, now. You throw that left hand, all right? We have to follow with that hook. And again, I want you around the clock, okay, fight. All right, set him up nice. All right, like Manny says, it's not going to be easy. All right, to get hit in the early rounds. Yeah, I want
work that jab and get into the flow. Get your rhythm. Got you with your jab. Got you with your jab. Put your hand on the way of his right hand, and put your left foot outside. Yeah, baby. Go.
Sanchez was brought up in boxing by his father, who trained him until he died last year. Pat Barry, the new trainer, is his father-in-law.
Right back to the body goes Sanchez again.
He isn't doing much offensively yet, Sanchez, but he's showing some nice poise in here.
Well, you talked about how fighters' punch outputs go down against Prince Nassim, and Augie threw only 28 punches in the first round. Nassim lands a right hand uppercut, the first telling blow of the fight.
Good right hand to the body by Sanchez. That one hurt. Prince even tries to hit him back in the body because of it.
You're right. He's got a plan, doesn't he, George?
And when you can stick to your plan 4 or 5 rounds, things can happen.
So he wants to use the straight right to the body, eventually to set up the left hook.
So you just want to take all of the jumping power out of those big, strong legs of the Prince. Then you can start landing a good jab and things like that.
Straight right hand lands on the chest for Augie Sanchez. Naz begins to jab with the right hand. Left cross by Prince Nassim.
You'd like to see Sanchez get a little more active and stop waiting around, because if you wait around for a guy that hits it hard as a Prince, you're going to get hit.
Down goes Nassim on a straight right hand, and Michael Ortega is going to rule it a foot on the foot.
Well, I didn't see the trip, but that punch also bloodied the nose of Naz.
If it had been a knockdown, it would have been the 5th knockdown of Nassim's career. 3 of them were against Kevin Kelly, and 1 against
I thought it was a clean knockdown.
What do you think, Harold?
You go down on the end of a punch, it's a knockdown, and that's all there is to it. He got hit, he went down, it's a knockdown.
And now this will be the 2nd slip of the round. And Sanchez is shaking his right eye as though he feels as though he's been butted.
He was hurt by a left hand, Jim, as they were breaking up. Clean. And he was stung and jarred. So this round is taking a turn, and he's trying to hold on and save time and survive the round right now.
After getting hit on the break.
Watch your head, watch your head.
Prince better beware.
And another big left hook by Sanchez. And Nassim almost went down again. And now he lands a big left hand.
He better beware, because this is the puncher. You just can't do anything you want with a puncher.
Get back. Okay.
And I'm not sure Augie Sanchez has recovered from the left hand that he took.
But he's still dangerous.
There's a mouse under the right eye of Sanchez. There's some swelling outside the right eye of Nassim.
That was a real nice wake-up call, huh? Okay, don't get lazy on me now, okay? All right, Pike? Don't get lazy on me. Take a deep breath again.
Hey, how about him, huh? Ortega! Hey, take care of those. Where's the pushing? Take care of those.
Knockdown or not?
Let's see if it's a knockdown, if we can see their feet. 2 right hands. To me, that is a knockdown.
We still don't see the feet.
We don't see the feet. Right, left.
And that's the exchange later on in the round.
That's when the Prince thought he was hurt.
Ortega is running around there, and I'm not sure what he's doing.
Power punches in round number 2. Nassim 16 out of 30. Sanchez 13 out of 24. An even fight.
Sanchez
lands another left hook and a straight right hand. And Naz laughing, but had to get out of the way as he was off balance and almost down again.
You just can't play with punches. You got to get serious. Get those guys off the ball of the feet so they can't hit you.
Blood trickling from the nose of Prince Nassim. If you're one of those viewers who's tuned in hoping to see Prince Nassim get his block knocked off, this may be your night.
Well, there are always people who want to see a big mouth shut. Whether Sanchez is the guy who can do it is problematic, but he's certainly giving us more than most people expected.
Sanchez has not given up his body attack. Down to the body with the right hand, straight right hand. Makes a difference when you start landing those shots on top when the body is hurting.
And Naz, of course, sticking with the high-risk style, his hands below his waist. Guys like Barrera and Morales sitting around watching with their hearts in their throats, thinking, here goes my million if this guy goes down. And Naz lands a big left hand against Sanchez. And now Sanchez comes back with a right hand of his own. It's a Pier 6 brawl in round number 3. Shades of the Kevin Kelly fight. Hard right hand by Nassim, and Sanchez held on and went down. And Ortega calls that a slip, too.
Sanchez really has to gather his forces now, fight the fight he wants to fight, not try to get into a brawl with a big puncher.
You know what happened? I do believe the Prince has had a double dose and an overdose of too much doctrine about the boxing. He's an instinctive fighter. He needs to be in condition. Leave him be.
Blood on both fighters. Augie Sanchez getting a lot of big chances in the first 3 rounds here. They trade left hooks. Big right hand by Nassim. And another big right hand. And Sanchez grabs the right hand and holds on.
For good reasons.
You see the quickness of Prince Nassim Hamed flashing these punches out of nowhere.
You know, Kevin Kelly warned him, don't lose your focus. No matter what happens in there, fight your fight. But he's getting a little flustered, is Sanchez, and starting to fight a fight that's more advantageous to the Prince.
He's just taking a beating
deeper into the trick bag and starting to give Sanchez a beating with hard power shots in the 3rd round. Naz laughing as he goes back to his corner. Is he whistling in the dark?
You knew you had to work tonight. It's a championship. You're the champion, that's all. You got him so frustrated out of his game. Just stay basic, baby. Augie, are you listening?
Nothing there, Doc. I'm great. How are you? Nothing there.
Close your eyes a second, okay?
Nothing there.
All right, listen now. The fight is over with.
Let's go back to the 2nd round and see if we see anything more. What it looked like was there were 2 clean punches, and Hamed tripped over Sanchez's leg, but it was not a deliberate trip. It should have been accounted as a knockdown.
And there you saw Prince Nassim holding on to the rope as Sanchez was punching him and trying to knock him down. And then Nassim with the big left.
Sanchez seems hurt still. He's got to go back, retain his poise, start fresh, not just get into a war with a
way
guy
over
with
a minute
big
between
weapons.
rounds.
According to the timekeepers, there's more time because the doctor was examining Sanchez's eye.
Mike Ortega called time for the doctor.
Sanchez benefits.
Right. Thank you, George.
He needed
Sanchez
a wake-up. He
benefits.
needed something to help. This was a good break for Sanchez.
Augie Sanchez got an extra 30 seconds there, Harold Letterman. What do you make of that?
Okay, Jim. When the doctor comes in, they call timeout, and then the corner gets a full 60 seconds to work on the fighter, and that's the way it goes. It makes the cornerman get out of the way so that the doctor can look at the cuts. In any case, 30-27, 3 rounds to nothing. Prince Nassim Hamed. You couldn't take the 2nd round away from him because Mike Ortega didn't call it a knockdown, and at the end of the round, Augie Sanchez was virtually out cold.
Yeah, well, but common sense to me says that Sanchez won the round. I gave the round to Sanchez.
Prince is throwing punches from behind his back.
Yeah, the Prince's confidence doesn't appear to have been shaken. Unless, of course, he's putting up a pretty good front.
He's in with a puncher, and these punchers will hurt you. Every time they hit you, they'll scratch you, they'll bruise you, and that's the way it goes.
But he's in with a puncher who's throwing about 30 punches around, and Naz is throwing more than 70. And there's a huge left hand to the temple of Sanchez, who went to the canvas, but Ortega was already pulling Nassim away from it.
1 point.
And now a point deducted from Nassim for holding.
Hit him down, okay?
Said from the beginning.
All right.
Harold, tell me.
Jim, Mike Ortega took a point because the Prince hit Augie Sanchez. The Prince hit Augie Sanchez when Augie was on the floor. Augie slipped out and the Prince hit him. And that's why he took the point.
But in doing so, he took away a potential knockdown from Prince Nassim.
No, I don't think it was a knockdown, it was a slip. But even still, Sanchez is on the floor, the Prince leans down and he whacks him.
All right, we're midway through the 4th in what has become a wild affair.
No. Let him out. Step back.
Said early on, this was a no-nonsense referee, and Prince, he doesn't benefit by those. The Prince does.
No, in fact, a no-nonsense referee in Detroit in the Cesar Soto fight might have meant disqualification for the Prince.
Oh, man, that was a knockdown.
That one could have been a knockdown as well. Sanchez has been smart. When he was hit like that, he fell in to the Prince and then went to his knees.
I think the referee hurt him by not calling it a knockdown.
Sanchez out on his feet again as Naz lands a left hand to the face and to the body. Naz laughing as Sanchez again slides down the front of him. Left, right, right. And once again, you see the awesome punching power of Prince Naseem Hamed. And that's going to be the end of the fight. Ring doctor into the ring. Mike Ortega there before they can start a count. Hamed knocks out Augie Sanchez.
I can tell anyone, if the Prince comes close to your hometown, you better go out and see this. This is a phenomenon. This is it. This is it. Never seen anything so spectacular as the young Muhammad Ali when he was Cassius Clay.
Ever seen a bigger puncher in the lower weight classes?
You just don't know where the power is coming from. It's an athletic miracle what he does with those punches.
We'd have to go back and watch the fight in tape to calculate how many knockdowns there could have been if Ortega had ruled a knockdown every time a possible knockdown was there for the ruling. I think there was, what was there, one knockdown in the fight? Two, maybe? There could have been six.
All I can tell you is, look, he's an acrobat. You better get his autograph. You better get his autograph.
Yep. Yep.
And it was HBO who decided to bring this guy over like they did the Beatles way back, Ed Sullivan.
Why don't you go ahead and give us credit for the Beatles too, George?
Now watch how he holds his balance, keeps his eyes open. It's amazing. You never see a puncher with that kind of balance. Eyes wide open, takes a chance. Even when you're fighting a puncher, you take a chance. That's